I found myself a year ago being so reliant on keeping a certain person in my life, or keeping the validation from that person in my life, even though it wasn't right, even though there was loads of negatives, even though things went wrong. I would constantly try and please that person and make that person feel good. And you could say this was due to my bad mental health, which it was, in a terrible place. My mental health was in a shit place and I've had to rebuild it. But I wasn't too happy to let someone go. I was too afraid, and I couldn't let them go because I was so afraid of letting them go. Or I don't get validation and I don't get happiness then, or I don't get this thing then. And this overall ruined my reality in a sense when that went bad. And then I had to look at myself and understand that I have to make myself happy and build myself as a person. I need to build me. I can't rely on people all the time for me to feel good. I can't rely on this person just because she's being nice to me and she's wanting to see me or whatever to make me feel good, because that's a never-ending cycle. And imagine you never truly develop yourself through that. Then you're going to be in that position forever, and then you're going to rely on external stuff forever, like I would have been in if I didn't have this stuff going wrong, my friends, a girl, all this stuff. I wouldn't have understood myself to the degree I understand myself now. I wouldn't have helped myself to the degree I help myself now. And that's the overall message in this video. You have to not be afraid to let people go. You can't be afraid to let people go. People's going to leave your life. Like I said before on this channel, loads of people have left my life this past year. I've had seven relationships, that's crazy. 7 different things that has happened this past year with like friends, girls or whatever. And then it breaks. Let's say over the past year and a bit, it goes and it breaks, and then I've got to deal with the pieces. But if I'm happy and fulfilled in myself, understand myself as a person, and build that confidence and that gratitude and my mental health up in myself, then things don't matter as much, because I know who I am and I know where I want to be, and I know they're not a right fit, if that makes sense. But if I was too reliant on these people like I was before, that would crush me and tear me away and make me feel terrible like I was before. I was in a bad place, man. I was in a bad place, but now I look back with gratitude for that situation, because it allowed me to grow an exceptional amount, and it's allowed me to truly realize who I am as a person. Sometimes you need these situations to go wrong. Sometimes you need to let people go in order for you to learn about yourself. Sometimes you've got to lose a bit of yourself in order for you to improve yourself, if that makes sense. Sometimes you have a lot of reliance on that person and you almost feel like they're a part of your life. They feel like they're a part of you. You feel like they are you, or they're giving you stuff that you never had, or they fill a certain void within yourself that you can't fill. Therefore, you rely and cling on to that. But if you just thought, actually, I'm too reliant on this person to make me feel happy, and if I do this for too long and this goes wrong, that's going to hurt me. And I understand they'd be like scars, or they'd be afraid of things going wrong, but from a real perspective, you got to understand yourself and better yourself, if that makes sense. There's so many flies about, but you got to understand yourself and better yourself. You can't let people be the judgment of yourself and your own view of yourself. Certainly to a degree you're going to have that somewhat, but don't make that a big thing in your life. Don't become too reliant on having someone there, making them feel you good, making them feel amazing, making you feel amazing, because that's going to be a never-ending cycle, and you're never going to truly learn from that. How many people do you know, and I know a lot of people like this, that get in a relationship. They don't take no time to understand themselves or heal from that situation. It's like I was having a conversation with a girl the other week, and she got out of a relationship, and I was saying to her, you got to take a bit of time to understand yourself through this, because a lot of people just get into one, and she understood it, and it made sense. Because if you just get into something straight away, you're not going to truly understand what's going on, and then it's going to be a new thing, and you're going to bring in that past trauma into that situation, that past sadness or whatever you felt in that situation. Let's say they cheated on you or whatever, you're going to bring that into the next situation, if that makes sense. And you don't want to be in that position. Sometimes you got to understand yourself and learn about yourself. And sometimes it takes you letting someone go, knowing that there's no one else there, for you to understand yourself and better yourself, you know? Like, I had no one else there before. No one, pretty much. Of course, you have your family or whatever, but would I tell them stuff? Not really, you know what I mean? But I relied on my friend group and this girl to make me feel good and make me feel happy. But how did that go? That went terrible in the end. And that's one of the things that you need. And that's a beautiful lesson that I've had, and it was almost a turning point in me as a person, because I had to truly look in my mirror, even though it was painful, even though it's terrible, even though it hurt me a lot. I had to look in the mirror and understand, okay, now what can I do? Now how can I better myself? And that's when I started improving myself a lot, and looking into myself, looking into my mental health, looking into me as a person, and bettering me in an overall sense. And that's the overall message in this video. You can't rely on people all the time. You've got to let people go sometimes. You can't be afraid of letting people go, because it's one of these things that just allows you to grow so much more when you let someone go, if that makes sense. Of course, if it's good or whatever, don't let them go, but you know what I mean? In the context of if it's breaking, or if you're trying to just hold on and cling on to someone, even though you know they're going, it's not going to help you. Really, it's not going to help you. And a lot of times you got to dive into yourself and understand yourself in that certain situation. And that's what I found overall with this stuff. I hope you lot got a lot of value in this video. Like, comment and subscribe. Hope for love recently. Thank you.